Hello and welcome to the Magic the Blabbering podcast. This is your host, Nick, with Josh. And today we're going to be talking about all the new news and secret lairs, and we're going to go over our top picks from Aetherdrift and every card that we're kind of hyped to play with and drive in our new decks, test drive in our new decks.
Yeah.
And also, before we get into it, Josh, you have a new background.
I do a little bit. Yeah. I moved into a new office this past couple weeks. It's kind of weird, the end of last year I got my old place set up exactly the way I wanted it. Everything was great. And then my wife took a new position at the beginning of the year, and she is on meetings all day, and it just wasn't very conducive for us sharing a space with me, having to come in and reset up the cameras and lights and all that stuff. And so now I've moved into my own space, and she's got her own space for us to work here. So I've got a lot more space in this room. I'm really digging it. I've got a big full desk here, so I don't have to move cameras and lights around just to, set up different shots. So yeah, it's really great. The background looks
good. I love seeing all those backgrounds.
Yeah, it looks similar. You probably, see some newer stuff that you hadn't really seen in the background before. I know, like some of these older boxes I don't think were shown on my old stuff, but got a new space. So that's why I just kind of took a little break in recording, kind of getting this space ready and getting her space ready. So, but now I am rocking and rolling, and I'm gonna, come out you guys with videos every week from this new space. So.
Yeah, we're looking forward. We're looking forward to get into it, and right now is not a better time because Josh's favorite set, the 2025, is here.
It is.
But before we switch gears into Aetherdrift, we want to talk a little bit about the secret lair news that came out today.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, Festival in a Box for Chicago 2025 sold out same day.
Yeah. So another one of my favorite things is Magicons, and good thing I'm going to Chicago because I didn't get a chance to really buy this today. I wasn't going to because I know they're available at Magicons, but man, I didn't expect it to sell out on the very first day. I think Vegas last year, it took a couple weeks for it to sell out, but. Surprised.
Well, I think the word is out on Mystery Booster 2 being a smash hit.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think it's these promo cards. Like, you get Ponder, you get the first sliver. The Ponder is the foil Future Sight frame for Mystery Booster 2. You got Sarah's Attendant is one of
Sarah
them.
the Benevolent Planeswalker as in the old border. Old type Planeswalkers. Yeah. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And the first sliver. Now that's the card that I look at and I'm like, whoa, people are going to want that. And then it's beautiful Future Sight frame.
And then there's the Mystery Booster 2 land. I forget what it's called.
Called Second City.
Yeah. So. And
I can't read what it does because it's too small on the website.
So normally
then you also get that's the whole secret lair, right? Unique to this drop.
Yeah. So that you get the special secret lair with Animar.
Animar Soul of the Elements, Benevolent Hydra, which I don't even remember what that card is. Forgotten Ancient, had the turtle. He looks like Master Oogway from the Panda movie. And All Will Be One, which is an extremely powerful casual card.
Yeah.
And all unique arts. It's more than just a Mystery Booster box, which already was signing me up for, but also a lot of sweet promos. I mean, I think the first ever is rocking a $30 price tag, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they with this Festival in a Box, they did drop it $50 too, because it was $249 for the one for Vegas, but you got 3 collector's boosters as well. So they took the collector boosters out of this, dropped the price $50. So now you get the Mystery Booster 2, you get that secret lair, and you get those promo cards, which I think the promo cards are probably what's driving the sales so hard.
Yeah, the first sliver right now, $40. So that's $50 off plus a $40 promo.
Right, yeah.
Hard to lose. And that Ponder probably will fetch a pretty good price regardless. I don't know how much to think about Second City and some other great cards. I mean, All Will Be One is not a slouch, so definitely a lot of win there. I mean, they really are. And at a price that a consumer can have. So I think everyone was just like, yep, I can afford that. 200, I'm in.
Yeah, so
really, really good giving from secret lair there.
One thing it'll be interesting to see is normally what they do for Magicons is at the store, the official Magicon store, when you spend a certain amount of money, I think it's been $150, you get a promo card. And it's usually one of the promo cards that are in the Festival in a Box. Like last year at Vegas, it was the planes that had the Lotus art. That was the promo that you got for spending so much money at the store. So it'll be really interesting to see what the promo is for MagicCon Chicago. If it is one of these, the Ponder or the Sarah or the first Sliver, or I hope it's not the other card, but it'll be
So wait, all four of these aren't in each one, or is it a random?
No, all four come in the festival in a box, but only one of them at MagicCon Las Vegas last year. Only one of them you got at the store. So
okay,
yeah.
So we get lucky and we get even more of these awesome cards.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see. They'll announce it probably here when they announce their merchandise. Probably next week, I'm guessing, because we're less than 3 weeks away from MagicCon Vegas. So
yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Big
excited
time.
to have it happen. And then that wasn't our only news in Secret Lair land. We also found out that the weird shifting of the time schedules for our baby Lorwyn maybe didn't change all of its scheduling.
Yeah, we
got a little tease.
We're getting a taste of Lorwyn here early.
Yep, we're getting all 5 of the creature types reveal land from Lorwyn. Well, almost all of them. The Ancient Amphitheater, Auntie's Hobble, Giltleaf Palace, Secluded Glen, and Wanderwine Hub, part of the cycle, are all going to be reprinted in Secret Lair style, which I'm trying to decide if this storybookish type style that looks kind of reminds me of Eldraine is going to be the new look for Lorwyn. But looks really good. I mean, they look really cool, and that's fine. And we're really worried about a mystery card. We think it's going to be the Murmuring Boss, a very beloved card.
I think I might gamble on this one. I don't like. I quit buying Secret Lairs, but like I really like the art on the Elf Land, the Giltleaf Palace. I like the art on that one, and I play that like I have a Lathril deck, so I can slot that in. But my second commander deck that I ever built was Doran the Siege Tower, and so I think I'm gonna gamble and hope that they do include the Murmuring Bosk in as the the special secret card. So I might gamble on one of those and see.
Yeah, that was always the cheatiest land. It always felt like Commander like, oh, fetch out this $3 land, and I'm like, why does Abzan get the hookup? It's already too good. But no, that'd be classic, and just cool. It'll be cool to see. It has to be the C card. If it's not, I'd be shocked. I guess it could be a Reflecting Pool. That would also be good.
I wouldn't be mad. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad with either one of those actually.
Yeah, so we'll have to see, and they could actually gamify it some more. Maybe I shouldn't say this because they're kind of on a cycle for that, but I guess that was technically in Shadowmoor, so maybe not. But you know how way back in the day when they didn't do special promoing, for some reason, the foil version of Reflecting Pool from Shadowmoor, I guess, had like a imprint of, I believe, a white mana symbol on it or something like that. Which was unique back in the day because it was like a printing error, but so all the Reflecting Pools from that time have like a weird mana symbol. So if they want to gamify it some more, they can make those Reflecting Pools with the different symbols,
It was just the foil ones?
It was just foil Reflecting Pool for some reason. Huh. But yeah, very bizarre. But I thought I'd bring that little bit of lore to us.
Yeah. So to go along with Aetherdrift and Secret Lair, they have a Secret Lair drop that's coming. So we talked about the Hatsune, Hatsune Miku?
Hatsune Miku,
yeah. So we talked about that, and we talked about the Lorwyn, but we've got an Aetherdrift one also, and these are pretty dope. They look like arcade games, like arcade driving games, and so they've got the text on and the cost on the marquee, and then they've got it looks like a video game of whatever the card is. So we've got the Big Score is one of them, Wheel of Misfortune is one. Roiling Vortex is one of them. Heat Shimmer and Final Fortune. So those are the cards from the Aetherdrift Secret Lair. Pretty sweet art. I dig the arcade style frame there. So what do you think, Nick?
Those are some wild looking Magic cards. I don't think I've ever expected that in my life.
Yeah,
they are unique to a T.
I dig it.
I'm into it. It's pretty cool. I'm liking Final Fortune's probably my favorite one.
Have we got? I know it was in 7th edition foil. Has there been a foil printing of that since 7th edition?
I don't believe so. That might be its first reprinting in a while. They really had slow rolled. They really slow rolled the printing of the take an extra turn, lose the game card. I guess Mystery Booster had Final Fortune where you could pull it foil.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah,
And
so
then that. Oh, it's
yeah.
literally all been in the last 365 days.
Yeah, so foil Final Fortune. I think the seventh edition one is like $800 or something. So
Yeah.
if you're looking for a foil Final Fortune,
You've been
it's
waiting. It's your time.
yeah.
It's your time. Your time to shine.
But yeah,
Yep, love it.
pretty sweet secret layer. So I will
Yeah.
I will probably be getting those too. I wonder what our bonus card is going to be. Hopefully, it's not something. I hope it has to do with Aetherdrift. Because they were doing the slivers there for a while, where you got a random sliver. I hope it's not that. I hope they did special cards for these for
Yeah,
both the
something
bonus
cool and
cards.
new.
So yeah. So
Yeah, something tied to Aetherdrift. And this was our Aetherdrift extravaganza.
yeah. What's interesting too, though, these are all red cards. So I don't know if we're gonna get like more, like one for each color, a drop for each color, or what they're doing with this. But this is what they've released so far. So I think it goes on sale February 10th. So coming up here pretty soon. By the time you listen to this podcast, they will probably be available shortly. So we'll have more information as time goes. But that's what we know so far on these secret layer cards.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to February 10th. That's second dippings. We gotta have our some more of everything
Yeah,
magic.
yeah,
But we've kind of ruminated on the past. Secret Lair is kind of getting us a little bit of taste of something from 2026. But let's talk about today in 2025 in February. Let's talk about the cars. Let's start our engines.
yeah. We've got the
Let's,
full set of Aetherdrift, and man, I am not let down by anything in this set. Really, I love all these cards. I love this set. So let's go. Let's start at the beginning. Let's go by collector number. I always like. That's how I collect my cards. Everything in collector number order. So let's just start at the top here. We'll go down, and I'll we're not gonna talk about every single card in here, but there's a few in here that I want to mention and point some stuff out on. So let's go through the first here, and you just call out a card, Nick.
well, I'll start.
Okay.
Card I'm surprised to see. So Cat kind of left field. Was not expecting to see us return there so soon. Kind of happy to. But this character, Basri, Tomorrow's Champion, I expected. Let me just read the card for you. Basri, Tomorrow's Champion, 1 white for 2/1, Legendary Human Knight. Pay a white and tap, exert Basri, create a 1/1 white cat creature token with lifelink. It has cycling for 2 and a white. When you cycle this card, cats you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. What a weird piece of text. But I just wanted to say that when I saw this card this character in a core set years ago, I was like, what a random write-off. We didn't have a white planeswalker we wanted for the spot, and now he's here.
Yeah.
And he's also about cats.
Yeah. He's
I
like,
had not had that on my bingo card.
what was it? What was the cat lady card we was it Dusk Morning?
Yeah.
Or no, it was Foundations.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about the cat lady. So he's the crazy
Yeah.
cat guy. So yeah. So he was
He's a
also
crazy cat guy.
also one of the cards from Mark Rosewater's teaser too. That was the Planeswalkers that got legendary cards. He was one of those. So
Yeah, we I think we talked about him. Yeah, I think we did guess it was going to be Basri.
yeah,
So
yep.
good hits from us. It's as a card. This is kind of that issue. So when they said there was a cycle of vanillas, which I'm sure we'll maybe get to at some point.
Yeah,
here,
we'll talk about this for sure.
This guy being a Savannah Lion really kind of is what I envisioned the 1-drop vanilla to do.
Yeah.
But this is just showing where Magic's at. We really are pushing Savannah Lions. Like this thing has 2 abilities. They're all relevant.
Uh-huh.
It's relevant when it's you can pitch it to pump up other copies. So it's live. It's a live legendary card when you've drawn your second copy. Just kind of a pretty awesome card. White decks usually get stalled out, but this is like a good combination of I'm gonna beat you over the head with this on the first 2 turns, and then after I can't attack anymore and I have the spare mana laying around, I'll make some more bodies and then I'll swarm over. So
Yep.
I don't know how that'll pair up with that Modern Horizons card, the Ocelot Pride. Maybe it's not good enough for that, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got a bunch of cats in Foundation, so I think he's got a place in Standard.
yeah. So looking forward to seeing that card bear out. The cat tribe continues. Unfortunately, he is not a cat himself, other than being a cool cat. But that's the first card I wanted to talk about from, and also the creature type Knight. I don't think the creature type Knight was a thing in Cat. I might be quoting myself wrong, but
Yeah.
definitely new tribes on Cat. So cool to see.
So the card that I want to just point out, like real quick, this Canyon Vaulter card. This looks. Tell me that's not the Joker riding on top of a motorcycle. Like that's Joaquin Phoenix Joker. This is what it looks like, right?
Yes, yes, I see what you're saying.
That's. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't really want to talk about that card. I just wanted to point out that art looks. That's all I can see when I look at
Joker
that.
somehow found himself in an interdimensional portal in Braun, the video game. Is now
Yeah.
surfing a car.
Yeah.
This is this set, just like all over the place.
Then you go down to this daring mechanic, and everybody's saying it looks like Mario. And I think if it hadn't got released the same day as the Blue Shell robot turtle card, I don't think people would have maybe put two and two together, or would have been like. I don't think this is obviously Mario. I don't think it is, but just them releasing those two cards on the same day, I think that kind of made people do a little double take. So.
Yeah, I can see why. It kind of has the right vibe, kind of the right hat, kind of wrench.
Yeah.
Plumbers have a wrench.
So
kind of the wrong thing for a car, right?
Yeah, it's a pipe wrench, which plumbers use, and you don't use a pipe wrench on cars. So
Subtle nod by the artist, like wink, nudge.
yeah.
Glasses are really the thing that are throwing me off on this guy. At least it looks like glasses. I'm like, these almost look like Dr. Robotnik glasses. I'm like, if you just like get rid of those glasses, I think I'm in 100%.
Yeah.
But great art, cool looking card. Managed just getting topical with it. So. And I'm loving the arts on a lot of these cards. Like lots of weird crossovers. Like literally the card next to a collision course, Crocodiles, Chariot. I'm like, I didn't know crocodiles were that fast, but okay.
Well, that's the team. It's either that team or the team with hippos are the ones that actually won the race. So.
Yeah. I mean, all just autumn and cat. We're riding animals.
Yeah. Well, the card next to it has like boars or something towing a chariot. So.
Oh yeah, they're like hyenas on the detention chariot. Yeah, it's cool. One's undead. They're cool. What else do you got in white that has peek in your eye?
The card that like is really blowing me away is this common called Interface Ace. Okay, it's a
okay.
This is another card that came out of Mark Rosewater's teaser. So it's a 0/4. It costs 1 and a white. It's an artifact creature, robot pilot. It saddles, mounts, and crews vehicles using its toughness rather than its power. So you've got 4. It's crewing vehicles or mounts with a 4, right? And also, there's more text to this card. It says, whenever this creature becomes tapped during your turn, untap it. This ability triggers only once each turn. So you can crew two vehicles with this card. On turn, the turn it comes out, because you don't have to, it doesn't have to have haste to crew. You can just crew, and it crews with a power of 4, because it crews with its toughness. So like this card is just nuts to me. Like you could turn 3, crew 2 vehicles with crew 4, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's just nut and bolt because of the robot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's for your vehicle deck. This guy is really a surgical design to be like, hey, we have a ton of vehicles. We want people to be able to crew them. This guy does it, and he doesn't have power to the board, which I'm sure was intentional. Yeah. Also, subtly, I like that if you put this also has like other fun stuff you can do. Like you put something that says tap this, do something, you get double the value.
Yeah.
But you don't even have to necessarily. So you have like something like tap, draw a card, tap out of mana. I mean, maybe it has other applications. Very into that card. I do want to bring up a card that some of my friends were really like sharing around a lot. It's Guardian Sunmare. It's 3 white for a 5/5 horse mount. Ward 2. Whenever this creature attacks while saddled, picture library for a non-land permanent card with mana value 3 or less. Put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. Saddle 4.
Yeah.
So that's a really high saddle cost. It's a really high mana cost. It has ward, so it's not super easy to kill. And that ability is pretty disgusting.
It is, yeah.
Like, get any permanent out of your deck. Like, if I'm any sort of, like, hate piece deck, like, you're done. Like, oh, let me go get my Sphere of Resistance. Let me go get my, like, whatever obnoxious combo piece. Let
me get any of my swords, my Sword of War and Peace.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's just a fair thing to do.
Right?
I'm thinking, you get, I mean, you can't get lands, you can't get Dark Depths, but you can get, Crucible, you can get... what's that enchantment that it's like you can't have counters or whatever?
Oh yeah,
things can't have counters.
Solemnity or 9 lives.
Solemnity. Yeah. Solemnity. You can do also. There's all sorts of combos in Mono White. Mono White really likes stacking up a lot of hate enchantments. This card will do it. It's pretty fairly costed, but the ward really kind of offsets it a little bit. Definitely a card that needs another card, but definitely one that I could see making some games crazy.
Yeah.
Also, it reminds me of old Amonkhet. there was the 5/5. It was like Crested Sunmare.
Crested
I thought that
Sunmare,
card was going to be a money card. I bought like quite a few of those. I was like, not too many. I think I bought like 4 of them. I'm like, this card right here makes 5/5. I was like, Broodmate Dragon.
Yeah.
Well, not that good of a card. Still sweet.
So I mean,
reminds me of
you could go get you can get Smothering Tide with this card too, right?
No, it's 3 or less. 3 or less. Smothering Tide's 4.
Oh, okay.
And you've maybe seen it on turn 3 enough times that
yeah,
2 or 3 that you might think otherwise. But yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Saddle 4 is pretty high, but I mean, we just talked about the Interface Ace card. You know, he can
boom combo.
Yeah, he could crew 2 of these guys. So yeah.
It's a beast of a card. Just tutoring to the battlefield.
Yeah.
Unless I'm reading it wrong. Yeah, onto the battlefield. You need 2 dudes to do it. Ward really makes it more of a pain to kill. Big fan of that card. I think that card might have a tournament potential. Now I don't play standards that I'm quoting, but
yeah,
interested in seeing that have a chance.
Yeah, so, it's definitely a good card.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
So another card I want to talk about just for the art is Perilous Snare. So I've seen a bunch of memes going on with this one. This is loot trapped in the cage.
It's so sad.
Yeah, there's been a lot of memes going around online with that art. So
it's definitely a flavorful way to make like a kind of a, what do you call that thing? A vanishing light.
Yeah, or Oblivion Ring. Yeah, is basically what it is.
Yeah, love to see it.
Yeah,
it has upside. Yeah, that's art is 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 on everything I'm seeing. Oh, the card I saw when we were just preparing for the podcast that I guess I overlooked before. I would like to talk about Spectacular Pile Up.
Yes, I definitely want to talk about this card.
Yeah, so I'm just reading it out. 3 white for a sorcery. All creatures and vehicles lose indestructible until end of turn, then destroy all creatures and vehicles, cycling for 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This first of all, this art, I love this art. It's so
beautiful.
It's so bright. It has all the colors. I love the flavor text on this card. The first 4 crashes were accidental. Then the End Riders join the fun. So the End Riders are the guys from Gastal. They're the
Mad Max.
The post-apocalyptic warriors. So yeah, I love everything about this card. I mean, it's nuts. Like, all creatures lose indestructible and then destroy all creatures. That's pretty good. And then cycling 2 on top of that.
Yeah. If it's bad, it's bad. Get out of here. You know? you can play as many copies as you need to make sure you hit that sweeper. But then in your mirror match, you're like, don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not dead.
Yep.
And that deletes all the problems of playing Rasp most of the time. And it's not a steep cost. Like 2 is a lot, but like it's for that effect to be in my deck. Like, I want it. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, like in limited, like a lot of people be like, oh, I don't know if I should play a sweeper all the time. There's some him and haw, but like this one, it's like, why wouldn't you?
Right,
why wouldn't you? I've fallen behind, or the board's like maybe semi-stabilized. I'll just sit here until the board gets a little out of parity, blow it up, play 2 dudes, and they can't even play tricks to save their things. Like most tricks are like get indestructible, get whatever. Also, this is a sign that there's like trying to do like a little bit of a shift in some of the bigger formats. Like in Commander, we've been kind of stuck in the Stefari's Protection. Heroic Intervention. The other free one that's like, what is it? Free. All your guys are indestructible if you have your commander. Forget Fierce Guardianship.
Yeah.
Or no, Fierce.
No.
That's the counterspell. Anyway, the free one that gives you guys indestructible. This card is counterplay to those. So, kind of glad to see it because just the amount of games I've played where someone's just like Heroic Intervention or that thing for free. We thought we were about to live, but we're all still dead. This is kind of nice. I like that it's at 5 mana. Any less. Also, it sweeps vehicles, which seems like a bit of a rough stopgap. Yeah, I mean, in this set, it makes sense, and the theme and all that.
Yeah.
Man, vehicles are ready to go. They're supposed to dodge sweepers, and then you're just like, kill all the vehicles. I'm like, I don't know. Kind of sad, because now, instead of just being like, I'm going to run this vehicle deck, I got all the upside, some guy's going to spectacular pile up, I'm like, or maybe not. Most people don't like to eat their vegetables and don't care, and they're like, well, it's worse than Farewell. I'm like, yes, the 100-card deck, though. So
right, exactly.
But I love the card. The card.
Yeah, when I saw the art for this card, I was like, oh man, I love that art. I wonder what. I figured it was going to be some like 5-color card just based on the art, but man,
you would think that.
Yeah, I love the art on this one. So let's talk about.
It's like every team crashed at once.
Let's talk about the this mono white legend, this vanilla legend here, Sundial Dawn Tyrant, 1 and a white. And he's a 3/3 legendary artifact creature. What do you think about this one?
So disappointed. I'm disappointed in this card.
Yeah.
This was the chance to be the 1-mana 3/3. This was the newest Maru. Could have been.
Yep.
Could have been. That's my first thought. Second thought, kind of surprised it's an artifact, so it might have some use more than I expect.
Yeah.
Also, it's funny to have a name that is a thing, like being named Sundial, but what are your thoughts on it, Josh?
Well, so this is just Watchwolf, right? That's easier to cast.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you.
That is also sad now that you say that.
Yeah. Like it could have been 2 white for, I don't know, 2 white for a 4/4. Is that too much? Nowadays.
Well, I feel like that power and toughness combo is the wrong color. I don't feel like white's I feel like white's supposed to get like high power, low toughness.
Yeah.
Like for its early dudes, and then like maybe even and then again, I was just advocating it to be a 1-mana 3/3. So
right, yeah.
That aside,
yeah, you did
maybe like a 1-mana 3/2, but
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we've outdated Watchwolf for a long time. I mean, Rensrun Packmaster Rensrun Vanquisher was way back in the day. So we've been outclassing it. I mean, what's that lion from Theros that like monstrosities that indestructible and hexproof and stuff? So we've been outdoing poor Watchwolf for years, and now we're doing it in monocolor.
So you think a 1-mana 3/3 vanilla is where we should be at?
I mean, I don't want to be. I'm just gonna straight up say it. I wish all the creatures were smaller to some degree. But I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they did ban Wild Coddle in Modern long ago. But I think the days are kind of long past where we really care. Like Ragavan was a terror, and then as far as I've heard, it's not a terror anymore.
Yeah.
So Ragavan's not a terror of vanilla. Like Ragavan makes mana and has utility late game of vanilla. I don't know. I think for standard maybe it matters, so that's kind of maybe part of the rubber meeting the road.
Right. Yeah.
But just I'm sure it'll see play, for aggressive decks, and you won't get screwed by like them having like 4 of them in a row. But it's interesting. So, and I think of Magic through a standard lens, I like the card.
So you're not going to build a deck around it. You're not going to build a mono white.
Oh no. Now if it was like Raider Hound of Conda or grandson of like something like that, like something flavored that way, I'd be much more tempted to be like, 1-mana 3/3, soon up. But no. For Commander, I'm ready. I'm willing to play against a deck like this. I want to see somebody bust that out to the nines. I don't know how that looks. Artifact, like they'd be like turn 1, Midnight Ornithopter, turn 2, this guy, turn 3, Tempered Steel. I'd be like, oh, okay, Box Opal. I don't know.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool. Affinity and Commander. When my Commander's a 3/3. But yeah, no, I do want to go over this whole cycle. It is
for sure
fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating. So, all right, and then the only other card I think in white that I saw that I really wanted to talk about was Valor's Flagship. I see you want to talk about that card.
Yep.
Valor's Flagship for white for a 7/7 legendary artifact vehicle, mythic rare. This thing has flying, first strike, lifelink, crew 3, and it has cycling for X, 2, and a white. When you cycle this card, create X 1/1 colorless pilot creature tokens with this creature token saddles, mounts, and crews vehicles as though its power were 2 or greater. So I'll just say the first thing that comes to mind. Decree of Justice?
Right, exactly.
Better?
Yeah.
Old tournament staple, Secure the Waste was even a playable card. I expect this card to be playable to some degree.
Yeah. This slots into, any Greasefang deck. I've seen those, like bringing this back. Yeah, a 7/7 flying first strike lifelink. It's pretty powerful. It is. It's basically Decree of Justice with, a body, a 7/7 body at that. So, and
lifelink. So, like, if that thing connects, like the aggro deck or burn deck that you're against is like, good luck.
Yeah. 7 is a pretty steep cost, 4 and 3 white. But the crew cost is really low, 3 to crew that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's a goofy, and most of the time you never really cast Decree, but
right.
I don't know. I think the weirdest thing on this is like, why does it have first strike? It's a freaking 7/7. Like, I don't understand that. Like, I want to know the reason why this has first strike. I'm like, you already weren't fighting with this most of the time online. Like, maybe Commander if you have like 2 giant things or something, but
you've got
I don't know.
You've got Baneslayer. Baneslayer Angel was a 5/5 with first strike. the Angel Lord, the one that gives +1/+1, and lifelink gives all
Yeah,
your
yeah.
that has first
Radon
strike.
ring
Yeah, no, what's her name?
or Lyradon bringer.
Lyra. Yeah, Lyra. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's has first strike. So
Yeah, but it's not an angel. It just seems random.
yeah,
I'm like, are they just hoping you can attack into baleful strikes with it? They're like, oh, it'd be so sick if we get my car out, and then they have baleful strikes, so I can't attack. I'm just trying to think of the like
yeah,
what situation they're playing around with. There's something like when there's a water deck with a grease fang deck, I'm gonna go watch to see what they do. Be like,
yeah.
what is this getting around? Because it has to be something that seems like too tactical of a piece of text to have on that. But
I mean, this works
no,
really well. This works really well in the Grease Fang deck too, because you can just pitch it in the graveyard by cycling it,
yeah,
which is where Grease Fang wants artifacts to be. So
yeah, it'll be the de facto card I would imagine in that deck.
I mean,
So,
it's not as powerful as what's the one that they're running now that makes the angels.
the one that makes two angels.
Yeah, it's not as powerful as that, I don't think. But like I said, this can pitch itself into the graveyard, so that's an upside, and also a 7/7.
I think that's
with
a very.
lifelink, so
I think that's a huge edge it has, though.
yeah,
It's a threat. I think I would play more of these, less of the other card
yeah,
because this exists. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe 7 and a lifelink isn't as good as two angels forever. So I'm sure we're going to see that.
yeah.
We're going to see a lot of that get tried out. So that's all I have for white. You got any more white cards you want to talk about?
Nope, that's it for white
All
for
right, cool.
me.
So cruising into blue.
Yep. We've got.
What do you have to talk about? Oh, we can start with the vanilla, or we can start with something else.
Yeah, no, we can start with this vanilla. This Kalorna Coral Tyrant, 1 in a blue for a 0/8 legendary octopus.
Nice.
Yeah, this is a. I mean, this is what I expected from a monocolored vanilla legendary. This is. I mean, this is it, right?
Yeah, it's two Kraken hatchlings kind of almost stapled together, but it's easier to cast than two Kraken hatchlings.
Yeah.
This is like if Magic was ever going to do walls, this should have been on the wall.
Yeah.
Like this. Like if we're ever going to do walls seriously again, like this is what it needs to be.
Yeah, this is.
I mean, like, does it work with arcades? Like, or does he only work with defenders? Because like in anything that cares about butt, that is a big,
yeah,
big one. But yeah, I think that might work with Arcades the strategist. And it's too bad it's not Doring colors, because oh man.
Yeah.
I actually expected white to get a bigger butt card instead of like a random middle size guy.
Yeah, I really thought they were gonna go with like a 1 mana, 1 white, 3/3 or 2/3 or something. I don't know. But
I was thinking maybe a 3/2 for a white,
but this is exactly what I expected for the blue one.
Yeah, it's huge ass.
Yeah.
Big booty. I was thinking it could have been like a 1 mana horn turtle, like 1/4.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
That's a little aggressive. It's hard for attacking decks to get around that. So wait, I'm into it. It's fun. There's like a lot of cards now that like they're weird ways that are like this thing can deal damage equal to its toughness. This would be sweet with this.
Yeah.
So if there's anything, if we run across mode, we see anything like that, I'm sure that's like the fun combo. Maybe there's something in standard that does that, but I'm into it. Yeah, a cool card. A lot to say about these. Defensive blue card. Not surprised. This is like the most by the book one I've seen so far.
So the next card I want to talk about, and this is something that I didn't think I would see in Magic in 2025, printed on a card, Affinity for Artifacts. So we've got a reprint here, Gear Seeker Serpent. It's the so 5 and 2 blue for a 5/6 Affinity for Artifacts, which means it costs 1 less color or 1 less generic mana for each artifact you control, and then you can pay 6 and make it so it's unblockable. So did you see Affinity for Artifacts like being printed anytime soon?
I think yeah. I actually
Okay.
they've been dabbling with Affinity for years, and this was back in the old Kaladesh set.
Yeah.
I played with this card. It was very sweet, and limited some of the time. Just Affinity is not super broken. It's the things around it. Like when all your things are artifacts, suddenly it's busted. Otherwise, it's actually a really fun mechanic. You get a discount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect it here. It seems kind of weird to like do this in the vehicle set, kind of, because like yes, you will have more artifacts,
Right.
but they're like like, oh, here's my 5/6. Let me tap it to put it or start a car. It just seems kind of wonky.
I think there's three cards in this set that say Affinity for Artifacts. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I guess we'll get across some more. So I didn't think Affinity But I guess if the blue white isn't the blue white team all artifacts, so maybe that's the running theme. I saw a couple cards that like cost down your artifacts and
Yeah,
stuff. So
yeah, that's the robot team, so they're all artifacts.
so yeah, I guess I can expect it. I think it'll be fun. I think Affinity in and of itself is like a fun mechanic. It's just when you take all the guardrail. It's like the idea of reanimation, right? Like it's cool to get your like big dude into play, but when you can do it like so much earlier and the payoff is so much better, it's like
Yeah,
we've kind of lost the plot. Like turn to reanimate used to be cool. Like here's an Arcanus, here's a chroma, here's some like derpy thing. It was all fun and games, so it was like Grizzlebrand and things like
yeah.
that. So,
Well, I like
yeah.
I like the art on this card, and I like the flavor text. The flavor text says the biggest collector of vehicles on Avishkar is also the largest. So,
I like that.
yeah,
That's really good flavor text. Just it was a fun card. I definitely won some Winston drafts with that card. You're just like unblockable. Get chunked for 5 again.
Yep.
Just beautiful card. Oh yeah, here's another affinity card. Just to drop it. Memory Guardian, 4 and a blue for a 3/4 artifact creature. Robot Artificer, affinity for artifacts flying. So this is a better Somber Hover Guard, which that card was played a ton.
It was, yeah.
That card is straight up better. So, yeah, seems pretty spicy. And then again, maybe these affinity cards are going to have more. Oh, and it's an artifact itself, so it feeds into itself. See, that was the big difference between the Gear Seeker. This guy is an artifact.
Right, yeah.
If I see Thoughtcast, then I'm like, that's the card. But yeah, if Final Fantasy has a bunch of artifacts because of like materia crystals and whatever, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe something's gonna get spicy. But yeah, no, I didn't expect to see a better Somber Hover Guard. That's kind of cool for. I was gonna say for Popper, but maybe this is the fix. It's an uncommon this time. So I think Somber Hover Guard was a common.
So you did mention Thoughtcast, right? Just a second ago. You know that's in the set, right?
It is?
Yeah, it's a special guest.
Oh, it's a special guest.
Yeah, so I mean, you could see it, in limited, theoretically.
Oh, so it is possible.
Yeah.
You totally go off on the Affinity deck now. Thoughtcast.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. So the dream can be lived. Somebody's thinking over there. Somebody's thinking. All right.
So,
all right.
one card I do want to point out real quick is Hull Drifter. This is the vehicle Mole Drifter card. It's a 3 and 2 blue for a 3/2 flying. When this vehicle enters, draw 2 cards, crew 3. So, Mole Drifter was played quite a bit. Had the evoke effect where you could draw 2 cards. So I would imagine this card's going to get played somewhere in Standard at some point. So
I'm gonna say if it does, I'll be surprised. Big problem with this one is it doesn't have any way to be that 3-mana divination. But I don't know. It's fun. It's funny. I just don't. 5 mana draw 2 sorcery.
Yeah.
In an underwhelming body
with the 3/2 flyer.
Yeah, it's not with the 3. It's with a hard working 3/2 flyer.
Yeah.
I think like for limited, this card's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
This limited set might be a great card. You still have to work, but drawing 2 and getting some sort of body is not bad. I'm into it. I did. The next card I would like to talk about is Mu Yanling Windrider, another planeswalker that was like, here I am, and went off the face of the earth. And you're back.
So this is. I think this was the one that Mark was talking about that wasn't native to any of these worlds.
Okay.
Is the planeswalker that got a legendary card? I think this is the one that wasn't native to any of these worlds. Yeah, she just like showed up. She's like, "What's up, guys?"
I brought my ship thing and many more ships.
Yeah.
Let's read her. Mu Yanling Wind Rider, 2 blue for legendary creature, human wizard pilot, mythic rare. When this creature enters, create a 3/2 colorless vehicle artifact token with crew 1. Vehicles you control have flying. Whenever one or more creatures you control with flying deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, 2/4. I think this card's pretty great. Like if I were just like playing like mono blue vehicles like Commander, this is it. I mean, just reading it, I'm like, I might have to go look the vehicles list because my mono blue deck is cool, but it's too good, and this seems sweet. And like I've seen the Omen Kill that I think one of the on Magic or Commander Home or whatever, one of the ladies has an Omen Kill deck that looks kind of funny. But this card, I could see it. I'm attacking you, mono blue, drawing cards that pay myself off immediately. Yeah, I'm into it.
I mean,
I mean, you get a
Also,
vehicle off the hop.
vehicles you control have flying. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good in itself.
It's 2025. Cars were supposed to fly already, I thought.
Yeah.
I guess China's bringing it to us because I think she's from the Chinese-inspired world. Is what
Yeah.
Ling is from. So.
Yeah, she was in that dual deck set with it was the World Series.
Yu.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Mowu and all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cool deck. That was so long ago. I feel like that was like
Yeah.
5+ years ago.
I think it. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it's a good callback. I'm kind of happy to see some of these characters get paid for because right now we're in a weird like in between space with characters, right? Like we're getting some build up. Like we got Chandra run around, Jace run around, but like
Yeah.
he's kind of scattered. It's not like it's we're in that post Avengers world with Magic 2. Like past
that's what it is. That's what
what's
it feels
happening? Nobody knows.
Yeah, that
like,
is.
I don't know why we're all leaning into that, but that's the vibe. I mean, we got Suicide Squad going on doing its thing now,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's one of the blue cards. I love to talk about possession engine.
I know you want to talk about this because of the shark strapped to the back.
Hell yeah, the Suicide Squad on a car. I love it. The Speed Demon car too.
Yeah.
There's 3 blue for an artifact vehicle, 5/5. When this vehicle enters, gain control target creature and opponent controls for as long as you control this vehicle. That creature can't attack or block for as long as you control this vehicle through 3. So, card's awesome.
Yeah.
Yoink your guy. Now I can run. Now it's driving the car.
Yeah, it just cruise all your vehicles. Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The card is. Usually I see control magics and I'm like, ugh. This one's I'm like, yeah, because you can get in, you can rumble with them, be able to kill with the kill spell. It's not like when they just play an aura and you're like, well, never getting that back.
Yeah.
That's this is a way cooler way to do mind control. I'm liking when they go because blue has had some impressive effects for years. Like they have extra turns, they have steal your crap, counter spell.
Counter spells, yeah.
Yeah, they've finally been like finding that sweet spot. Like I think over all the years they've been like, oh, they're way too soft for a long time. Now we're like, all right, find the middle. Like somebody took the thought, they're like, why do people not like mind control? I can't kill it.
Right.
Destiny. Yeah. They're like, oh, okay. What if we gave you mind control that can incentivize you to screw up and give me back my creature? Yeah. Like that's this card, and it's sick art. Beautiful card. Beautiful car card. Car card. But yeah, that's what I have for blue. What do you want to talk about?
I don't want to talk about this card because we talked about it before. I just want to bring it up, the repurposing bay pod. Yeah, so it's the new blue birthing pod for artifacts. We talked about this at length in one of our other podcasts, but I expect this card to see some play as well. So
yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about Scourging Stingray because they keep shooting random freaking starfish in Magic. There's one in Jumpstart. I don't remember the card, but there's Jumpstart Starfish, and now we got another one. I mean, it's a stingray, but it almost looks like a starfish to me, so I'm just like,
yeah,
this year?
It's a fish pirate with flying. So.
Yeah, it's a stingray, fish pirate. What it does, I don't really care. I just wanted to be like, what the heck am I looking at?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Bizarre.
Another card that looks pretty cool, and I'm really, not surprised, but we have Spell Pierce back in Standard now. So, and it's got some sick art. Now, this looks like the Maximum Overdrive, truck, right?
That is the sweetest Spell Pierce. Like, oh.
Yeah, I love that art.
That's a good value. That I like a lot.
Yeah.
That is. Yeah, and Spell Pierce is like, it's weird. I think it's like kind of one of the more satisfying counterspells I've ever played with. I can see it being problematic, but like, it plays right. It's like they got it right on the first try. I feel like with Pierce. It's good, but it's not busted. It's really often a sideboard card, and it feels like you're so big brain when you're like, I'm playing a couple in my main.
Yeah.
And like wrecking people.
As long as we don't have Mana Leak in the same standard as Spell Pierce again, I think it's fine.
Whoa. I played that one's one of my favorites. Oh, that was so great.
No.
Like I'm not a big counterspell guy, but I remember playing blue-black control, and there were a lot of funny interactions where people like, do you have spellbers? I have spellbers on the Mana League. There was a blue-black control deck way back in the day that played Grave Titan and it only played Spell Pierce. The main deck, or the one that was from the Pro Tour, only played Mana Leak and Spell Pierce, and the games were like over if somebody resolved the Grave Titan.
Yeah.
It was just like, you're dead. Like your first Grave Titan usually ends the game. So I just put 2 cancels in my deck. And so my opponent would be like, well, I went first, so here's land number 9, Grave Titan. And I'm like, cancel? Or no, there's like, you're like, Mana Leak? They're like, yep, cool. Cancel? What? Okay. But like, here's my Grave Titan, and I know you can't kill it. Yeah. But anyway, I enjoyed that gameplay.
So,
but speaking of Spell Pierce,
well,
your favorite card's right next to it.
Speaking of Grave Titan, that's in one of the commander decks, and it's got some sick new art.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yes. These there's a lot of the commander cards. Like, I don't want to go too in depth right now, but there's some of these commander cards that have some really sick art on them. The Grave Titan is one of them, and
I'm seeing it. Holy crap!
Yeah, so and Zombie Master, I think, is one of them.
Okay.
Yes, and so they have like the Arcane Signet, the Soul Ring, and they have different art on each one of those for each of the planes. So Avengekar has their own Command Tower, Soul Ring, and Arcane Signet, and then Amonkhet has their own too. And it's got some great art on the commander cards. We're not going to go into them today on this podcast, but go check them out. There are some great commander cards in these precons as far as art's considered.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So back into the set proper. The card Josh let me know about immediately. Spike Shell Harrier.
Yeah, you were so stoked to have a robot turtle in the set. Here it is.
Yeah, I was like Metalhead, Metalhead, and not expected. Then we got the blue shell from Mario, right?
Yeah.
That was what you told me immediately. Nope, it's the blue shell, which is also sick.
Yeah. I love this card actually.
Yeah, you know what? Have you seen the card Game Pile?
Seen what?
It's 4-mana. There's a card called Boom Pile. It's a 4-mana artifact, and it says tap, flip a coin. And if you win the flip, I think, or lose one of them, one of the results of the flip is nothing. The other result is destroy all non-land permanents. And this is kind of what I wanted the blue shell to be if it was going to be a card. But I'm happy to see this.
Yeah.
Also happy to see creature type robot turtle. Yes, bizarre.
So
yeah, let's read the card. It's amazing.
Yeah, so Spike Shell Harrier, it's a 4 and a blue for a 4/4 artifact creature robot turtle. When this creature enters, return target creature or vehicle an opponent controls to its owner's hand. If that opponent's speed is greater than each other player's speed, reduce that opponent's speed by 1. This effect can't reduce their speed below 1. So yeah, this is the only card in this set that can reduce a player's speed, and I love this card. Yeah, I mean the effect is just it's the blue shell from Mario.
I mean, they're leaning into it super hard. It is so funny.
Yeah,
it is, and just chef's kiss on that. It's just so.
Yeah, I'm not even mad about this card at all.
No, it's great. Like, not what I was expecting, not something I was looking for, but very happy for it to be here. Only weird thing is, like, why can't? I guess maybe they don't have a concept for what it means to have 0 speed. Like, you just don't have speed, or you have speed 1, right? So
right, yeah.
You don't ever have 0 speed technically. So I'm interested as to why they chose to do that. Maybe it was because you don't have speed or you have it, so having 0 speed is like undefinable.
Well, because then I think that it introduces new rules, like if you're at 0, then you can go to -1. And so then when you go like play a card that has start engines, do you go from -1 to 0 or -2 to -1? I think that's the reason.
That it's so fascinating to me. Because I'm like, what if we go back to this mechanic? And then, like, do we want to go negative? I know, like, for cleanliness, and the future will probably never have this, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, but it would be cooler if you could have, like, actually your speed deck has -100 speed, you know? I could just see a game where somebody's trying to, like, do that. But anyway, great card. Also introduces some weird mathematical things to Magic, you know? Like, it's like that -1 creature from Future Sight. It's like -1 something, and everyone's like, do I gain a toughness when I damage?
Yeah.
You know, just bizarre. But yeah, I have another card. This is just kind of showing some of the power-up thing of Magic that's passively going on. So Magic, I mean, I don't think I think for the most part, this set actually kind of is hitting a good sweet spot for me in power level, but Magic's just getting, like, power level shots, like, all over, rarities all over the place all the time, it seems like, lately. I'm not super mad about something, because Magic does, like, this disordered thing where something will be like miles ahead of stuff before like anything else can possibly catch up. But I wanted to see stock up here, which is 2 in a blue sorcery for it's an uncommon. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand, wrestle. So like divination was like the standard for drawing cards at 3 in sorcery for a long time. Now this isn't a common, but this is a pretty good draw spell. Like,
Yeah.
that's almost a whole hand of cards right there. I can see that card being playable in standard, in certain standards, I should say. I can guarantee my land drop. Basically, I might play in Commander. This is like a pretty efficient card.
Yeah. The only thing is it's sorcery, but
Yeah,
I
but
don't.
like that guaranteed land drop is so huge in blue decks. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm all on counter spells, yeah, but if I'm like sweepers and other stuff, Commander, I just want to hit my next land drop, so I'd probably play it. Like, it's not amazing, but like when you're talking about your fourth, fifth copy of an effect to really make your deck consistent, like,
Yeah. Looking at
that's
five.
a good one.
Looking at 5 cards is pretty good.
Yeah, almost a whole hand. How many cards does it have to look at before everyone's like, okay, like if it's 7, is this good? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
we can't just go. I don't know if Magic's going to a place where we're all instants all the time, but I know that's what your gameplay at your local shop might be if you play Commander and stuff. But in certain old school formats, it's like I've never even seen a sorcery in my life. But but yeah, so just interesting to see that. That's just another like pip on the power level scale. Interesting stuff. Just like stuff to look at. Not just reading a random like uncommon.
Like a random uncommon like transit mage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
read that one.
So it's transit mage. It's a 2 and a blue 2/2 human wizard, and when this creature enters, you may search your library for an artifact card with mana value 4 or 5. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. So this is the final card in the set of mages. You've got what? Trinket Mage, Treasure Mage. I can't even think of all. There's 5 of them, right?
Trinket Mage is 1. Treasure Mage is 6. Trophy Mage is 3. And then there's something Mage that gets 2.
And then this one is
and then
4
this
and
is
5.
4 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think Treasure Mage gets 6 and above. I don't think
it does. Yeah, it does 6 and above.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they just glued them together. They're like, what's the difference between 4 and 5?
They're like, we just want to be done with this cycle, so.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that they did that, because that makes this one a little bit more powerful.
Right.
A lot more powerful technically.
Well,
but I guess that's really what is the difference between 4 and 5.
It says mana value 4 or 5, not up to, or so it has to be specifically 4 or 5.
But that means like you get like way more cards, right? There's way more 4 and 5 drops combined than the other cards can get, right? So this one has the most variety to pick from.
Yeah,
and it curves right into it for the most part.
Yeah, I don't know if like what are more relevant, 3 drops or 4 or 5 drops,
Yeah, it's hard to tell. This is an interesting. This card will be played. I almost guarantee it.
Yeah.
Trinket Mage, I think, is still probably the most powerful one because it gets like, a land, infinite hate cards.
Yeah.
But this card definitely, I expect to see it. It's going to get your Panharmonicon. It's going to get your other thing.
Yeah.
This can go in. Now we can have a full Trinket Mage deck.
Right. Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's a mage deck, which would be kind of cool. What's my deck? A bunch of artifacts and these 6 creatures, or 5 creatures, I guess. So very cool. Love it.
So how about
also
this?
Like a funny name.
How about this Unstoppable Plan card?
I heard everyone freaking out. I saw some memes and stuff. People like, "Oh, no, I can't believe it." I'm like, okay, like,
so it's,
all right.
It's a 2 and a blue for an enchantment that says at the beginning of your end step, untap all non-land permanents you control. So normally you don't see this in blue, right? This is normally a green effect.
You see it in blue. You see it in blue quite a bit. A Trigger Alarm is like the first one of these, and then Twiddles and stuff have always been blue, but it's definitely a blue and green thing. I think if I had to pick 2 colors, and then like white, and then black and red, I don't think do it hardly at all. But yeah, I think it's fun. I see it's like a $20 card.
Wow.
Because of the early hype, I guess. But
yeah,
it not doing lands really is the big move.
Yeah, I think it would just be too powerful if it was lands and
Wilderness Reclamation plus basically, right?
Yeah.
And that's just better than Seedborn Muse at 3.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I think the thing I dislike about it most is it really combos best with the broken artifacts for Commander. Like, I don't like that it combos with Grim Monolith and Mana Vault.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But if you're gonna pay, that's what you put into play off of that. Like, but I don't know. There's probably something it works with that I'm not thinking of that would be a lot better. like what's something that's like force tap or like if it, there's got to be something. It works with exert, I guess.
So how does that
From this not relevant.
how does that work with stun counters? Do you get to remove a stun counter at the end of your turn, or is it?
I think so. I think it would be like I think it would be. I think stun says next time you would untap, you skip it.
Yeah.
So this helps you unstun. It helps you with vehicle crewing because it's like, oh, my vehicles got to tap for vehicles now. My vehicles and creatures are untapped.
Right. Yeah.
So I like that. I mean, this to me kind of reads like all my things have vigilance.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it also works great with all tappers. I love tappers. Like, I have a tapper ability deck for Commander. I would probably put this in there, like as Seaborn Muse number like 3 or something. So it's not bad. It's a good rate. I don't see where it fits in. Like in standard, there's probably something cool you can do, especially when you get a couple of them into play. You can probably start doing something silly, but yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a creative juices card, but I don't. Unless I'm missing something, I don't see what's so busted about it.
I'm sure somebody will let us know in the comments, or I'll see something online.
Yeah, I haven't seen all the hype. I mean, there's something that's going on that I'm not expecting. I mean, it breaks parity. Like, there's cards like Static Orb and things like that, I think, which is like, you only have to have one permanent a turn, so...
Yeah.
You can break parity on some really awful cards.
Yeah, you could like lock down the board and then use this to unlock your side.
Yeah.
I can see that.
There's an old card called Kill Switch that like taps all your things that works with Mics of Lattice. It taps like all artifacts. Maybe this would work okay with it. I don't know. Weird card. All right, and then hey, your guy, the Eyeball Man. Do we want to beat him?
Yeah, we talked about him already. On our.
We already.
Yeah. So Vinwixt, Verbo's host. We talked about him. He's I don't normally play blue, but I might build a blue deck around him. He seems pretty cool. So
yeah. All right, and then this is the last blue card I want to talk about. Waxen Shapeshifter.
Yeah.
Or shape thief. Sorry, shape thief.
Yeah.
3 and a blue for a 0/0 creature shapeshifter rare. Flash. When this creature enters, copy an artifact or a creature you control. Cycling for 2. This card is sweet. It has some cool art. It can't copy anybody's thing, but this is like such a low barrier to entry like clone, and it solves the clone problem. Like they're just going in on a lot of cycling cards here. Like I'm glad to have cycling again, and now it's like cool. These are more options I can play in deck. So I'm like, don't need it. Goodbye.
Yeah.
You know.
The only thing I don't like about this card is it only says artifact or creature, because I do play that Quintorius canned Discover combo deck where you just go get a bunch of copiers and make a bunch of the Quintorius cans and win that way. Okay. And you can't use this in that deck, unfortunately. So, yeah.
I'm just surprised to see a new clone and another one that's like, oh, this is interesting. If this card copied anyone's thing, it would be a nightmare.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But it's actually really nicely balanced. Like, I can tell there a lot of Magic cards today really, like, somebody goes, here's the design, and then they go, how would I play this card? And, like, thinks about every single iteration of what's wrong with it or what would make it unfun to play. They delete all those parts, and then they make an awesome card. I will say that has pluses and minuses because the cards that are designed with that eye are better than cards that were never designed with that eye, so it makes a lot of difference. But sweet card. The clone has really just keeps getting better. Just hasn't stopped. So, but that gets us into black.
Yeah.
I know the first time I'm going to talk about the big reprint boy over.
Yeah, Bloodghast.
Yeah. Bloodghast is back. Crazy looking, craziest art I've ever seen.
Yeah.
What the heck? This type of vampire.
It looks like a vampire. It looks like a vampire dog. The art is so much different from the original art.
Yeah. I love it actually.
Yeah, I don't hate this art. Yeah, no, I love this art. I love both. I love both of the arts.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget this is one of your cool versions. It has that.
It has the Rude Rider art. Yeah.
Rider art. Yeah. It definitely looks like I don't know. I imagine a Tasmanian devil would look like if it was like the cartoon one brought to life. It super cool, super powerful card. I played with this in standard in multi other formats. The card is beating, especially later in the game. That 10 life or less haste. Oof.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, they just need to draw not a land or I'm dead. Also kind of weird place to it. I mean, I'm not exactly sure why we're seeing a landfall guy here. I mean, I know landfall's kind of all over now, but just interesting to see. Cool to see. But yeah, that's the first black card I'm interested in. Josh, what do you see?
I'm really interested in this Curse Cloth Wrappings. This is a black artifact, costs 2 and 2 black. So zombies you control get +1/+1, and then tap it. Target creature in your graveyard gains embalm until end of turn. The embalm cost is equal to its mana cost. So what embalm means is you get to exile a card and pay the embalm cost from your graveyard, and then you make a token that's a copy of it, except it's a white zombie in addition to its other types and has no mana cost. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That card's pretty crazy.
It is actually.
It's just it's an anthem, so it doesn't never do nothing.
Right.
And then B, it just sits there and like
make zombies.
I jump my thing, kill my. If you have a commander, you kill my commander. It goes graveyard. I'll make a copy of it. Now I have a commander copy and this one, so you get like 2 use on your commander every time.
Yeah,
it's a great card. It's pretty efficient. Curious to see how good it plays because you do have to play full retail, but for like your cards, but that's not a bad effect. Yeah, I think any zombie deck I would play would be interested in that. Yeah, I'm into it. Oh, I also this is kind of a me thing. I love cycling creatures. I do want to talk about the Chitin Gravestalker. It's one of the bug guys. 5/4 for it's common. Insect Warrior. This card costs 1 less cast for each artifact and/or creature in your graveyard. So I play Gorex in Commander. He's my mono black commander. I play all the cycling creatures that are in black for the most part, and this guy's like almost perfect. Like the only thing that can make him better if he cycled for 1. So I'm really interested in testing him out because I'll just like have cycled a bunch of things that die. I'm just like, 1 mana 5/4 into my stack of dudes. So loving that card. But yeah, what's up next on the docket?
Well, another card I don't want to talk about too much, but there's another card that has affinity for artifacts written on it, and it's the Demonic Junker. It costs 6 and a black, has affinity for artifacts. It's a 4/3 vehicle. When this vehicle enters, for each player, destroy up to 1 target creature that player controls. If a creature you controlled was destroyed this way, put 2 +1/+1 counters on this vehicle, and it has crew 2.
That's a sweet card.
Yeah.
Definitely interesting. It's a lot of spice. Okay. Kill your Ornithopter, get 2 counters on it. Boo. Get them.
So another one I wanted to talk about is Gas Guzzler.
All right, let's go.
It's a 1 black for a 2/1 vampire rogue. It has start your engines. This creature enters tapped, and then max speed is pay a black, sack another creature or vehicle, and draw a card.
Okay. Seems pretty good.
Yeah.
That's efficient. It's also a vampire, so tribal relevant.
Yeah.
Why do you think this card enters tapped? Just seems bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know.
Try to put that one together. Maybe it's too good if it's the same turn it enters.
Yeah, maybe. The thing I like about this card is the 1-drop with start your engines, so you can get that started right away if you need to.
Yeah, you like boom this guy next turn, attack, figure out the speed 2. Your next speed isn't far away.
Yeah.
Yeah, great card. Weird vibes. Definitely a card if you're playing start your engines in any format. This is got to be part of it, especially if you're in black.
The art on this guy too.
Yeah, just amazing. This is so thematic in the set, right? He's just like, what is this faith in? Is that like the oil can that's under your car? Is it like from a giant vehicle?
It looks like it, yeah. Did you ever watch Our Flag Means Death? It was on HBO.
I did not.
So this guy, the art on this card looks just like the guy from Our Flag Means Death. I forget what his character's name is, but he looks just like him.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. I thought another powerhouse card I wanted to talk about here. Crypt Collar Chariot. And maybe this isn't a powerhouse card, but I think this card's pretty crazy. 3 and a black for an artifact vehicle. It's a menace. It had menace. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, create them into 2/2 zombie creature tokens, crew for 2, and it's a 5/5. So you can just discard your hand and make like endless zombies. Like you're just like, here's 5 zombies right after I play this thing, and it's crewing. So that's 11 power in play out of nowhere. I mean, assuming you've had a few cards. I think that card is pretty powerful. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, discarding a card and making a creature seems pretty good.
Yeah, I can just see swarms of zombies. It makes me think of Zombie Infestation, the old cards, like black and 1, and whenever you discard 2 cards, make a zombie. It's like make all that many zombies, like twice as many.
So it's if you discard 2 cards, you make 2 zombies.
Yeah, the way it's worded, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just, every card, this reminds me of the shark from when we were reviewing last time. You discard cards, you get that many effects. So
Yeah.
it's pretty great for decks trying to wheel, decks trying to like do things like that. So I think that could be a role player.
What's the next one you want to talk about? Is it Gonti?
Yeah, have we talked about Gonti?
No, we did not talk about Gonti because he wasn't released whenever we last talked about Aetherdrift. So
So then I haven't been talking about Gonti and not being aware that he is. I'm not sure with the class that this card is kind of cool.
yeah, so he it was part of the spoiler, right? Because it was whenever a player casts a spell they don't own, and then Mark left off the rest of it. But so this is Gonti Night Minister, 2 and 2 black for 3/4 legendary creature Aetherborn Rogue. That was another part from the spoiler was the legendary creature Aetherborn Rogue, which we said was probably going to be Gonti. And then whenever a player casts a spell they don't own, that player creates a treasure token. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller looks at the top card of that opponent's library and exiles it face down. They may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Mana of any type can be spent to cast a spell this way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Into Gonti and Gonti and Gonti again.
Yeah.
And then when you're casting all like the crappy mana leaks or whatever, you get cheap spells, you're like, I'm getting treasure so I can do it some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this card. This is so sick.
And this, even if Gonti dies, the effect still remains, right? That you can just cast the spell with.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Yeah, he went from being a 2/3 that did it one time off the top 4 to like,
yeah,
all my dudes now do it. I mean, any go wide strategy like ninjas, like things like that, like they're gonna play it. This is a blast. This card, this is one of like the fun stuff I try to do. I have a Tybalt Cosmic Imposter Commander deck that does this, but like way later in the game.
Yeah.
And it's also not that fun. This is like, oh, can't hit all my crappy 1-drops, hit ya, cast all your spells. I don't even care what they are. I'm getting rich in the meantime, I love it. I love this card.
Also, have you seen the art for his, like the alt art, like extended border? It looks really sick. Yeah, it looks really sick.
I'm checking it out right now. Oh.
Yeah.
That is so sweet.
Yeah, that's awesome art.
Oh my god, that is a beautiful, beautiful card. Ooh, is the turtle gonna have to go? This could be. This is so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, this looks so fun. I'm loving it. I didn't know how they could do it, but they figured it out. And given that treasure, the black really kind of struggles with mana.
Yeah.
In many ways, and this really like, cool. You're mono black, and you're like playing these crappy dudes. Like you're probably gonna have a weird mana base. Have some treasures so that you can squeeze out all the fun gameplay. So, 10 out of 10 from me. And it looks like the next card I want to talk about is the vanilla of mono black. Got anything in between there? Or let's get to it. The vanilla of mono black, Hilax Scion, Hunger Tyrant, 1 black for 7/2, legendary creature, Crocodile, uncommon. Card's amazing. I love crocodiles.
Yeah.
I had a Jungle Book deck. I needed a crocodile.
Do you really have a Jungle Book deck?
Yeah, I had one. I don't anymore, but I still have a list. I might build it again, but I needed a crocodile, and this would be the one.
Yeah.
Probably, because it's the best one I think I've seen so far. But, 7 power, 2 toughness. I did not expect this from black, but actually it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like black used to always get cards, like there's that was in the old core sets, it was like a 4/2 for a black and 3. And they're like, yeah, black has shitty creatures. Why? Because of Dark Ritual. It's always been because of Dark Ritual.
Yeah.
But this guy, he can freaking Dark Ritual it out on turn 1. Like, I'm sure the old heads would be like, oh my gosh, turn 1 a 7/2, and then I'll sinkhole ya. Yeah, just, after him to Torlak you and stuff, boom. Like, this is Phyrexian Negator vibes. Kills you faster than Phyrexian Negator. This card is so cool. Like, this is the thing. Like, Magic always did more with less. And this is like, I'm freaking out. I'm like, look at this. It's vanilla. It has no other abilities. Beautiful. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Like, the 08, whatever. Also funny that I can block this. 3/3, 7/2. Bang. Love it. And we talked about the last ride before.
We did, yeah. The 13/13 for 1.
That one. That was what I was really interested in.
We talked about Maximum Overdrive, but this is before we knew what the card did. We talked about...
Oh, okay.
Mostly we talked about the movie, the Stephen King movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen it yet?
No.
Okay, so So my wife had never seen it, so I was like after we talked about this card on our last podcast, I was like, okay, we're gonna watch Maximum Overdrive, and yeah, it's pretty goofy, but like there's a lot of people I didn't realize were in it. So I knew Emilio Estevez was in it, but the girl that voices Lisa Simpson, she's in it. She has a pretty big part. Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad and Mandalorian.
What?
Yeah, he's in it.
Oh, that's crazy.
For like maybe 2 minutes. Yeah, he's in
But
it.
still,
Yeah. There's a couple other
beginnings.
people that the guy that plays Commissioner Gordon in the '89 Batman. He's in it. He plays like the main the guy that owns the gas station. So yeah.
Oh, gosh, that's wild.
Yeah.
all this lore, all this revisiting just for a card name, and then it's just a weird, like, decent combat trick.
Yeah. Yeah, I really expected more from that card, honestly.
What a name. Like, what a name, and it's on just, like, a trick. I mean, it's a good trick.
Yeah.
Like, in one instant, put a plus counter on dude, Death Touch indestructible, like,
Yeah.
giving Death Touch and being protection and giving Death Touch is kind of good. Like, a lot of red cards are going to get a lot of play out of that. You're going to be like, this thing? It outkills everything. Why? Oh, ping, 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 ping. Everything's dead. I
Yeah.
do that all the time, so powerful.
One card I want to like talk about just very briefly, just because of the art, is this Pack Doll Terror. This little like doll, like Toy Story doll. Like it looks like the kid next door like built it. Is like riding around on this like 4-wheeler. Looks pretty sick.
Oh, that's gnarly. That's so gnarly. That's got to be one of the Valgaboth.
Yeah, I think there's like
right?
because there's a couple other toys
It's a
in this
toy.
set. Yeah, I think that's from Duskmourn. So
And that's a fun card. Whenever this creature or another artifact you control enters, each one lose life, you gain life. That's gonna kill people. You can kill people in Commander with it. So
yeah,
you're gonna get a Toy Story some people out. So get into that.
we have a Toy Story deck.
Heck yeah.
What's the next?
Yeah.
What's the next
Yeah.
black card you want to talk about?
Sheffet Archfiend. This
Okay.
is another one from a turtle deck. 5 and 2 black.
Yeah.
5/5 Flying Demon. When it enters, all other creatures get -2/-2, and cycling for 2. I actually might also put this in my Cedrus deck. So I learned over all these years that I think land cycling is better than regular cycling, because at least in Commander, I always need a land as an option, and especially now, a lot of lands, especially if they're types, can get you other effects. Like you can draw a card off of the triomes, you can draw cards off of the other cycling lands, so they're really just like more mana cyclers. But this guy has an effect, so he might go into a few of my decks. So -2/-2. I used to play Master Worm like, all the time. All sorts of X -2/-2 guys, and really in recent history, they're all kind of falling flat. And most of the time, I draw them, and there's like if I'm against the right opponent, they're busted. If they're against somebody it's not relevant to, it does nothing.
Yeah.
So this kind of bridges the gap of letting me have the ability, but like getting rid of it, and I can combo it up. So kind of might be my replacement for that, and it's not far enough away in mana value, and it's not. It doesn't kill anyone like Masterworm. That was the satisfying part of I will wrath you, and you'll take 10 to the face. Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful card, one of my favorites.
And this
But I guess in standard, Masterworm's in standard now, right? So you can like stack this up, maybe some way, get them both into play, and like
yeah.
murder their whole board. So I kind of love this card. I'll probably be playing it. Anything that says cycling is a big ass dude or big dude, I'll be playing it. So,
Yeah. It's uncommon too.
yeah, probably gonna have to pick that guy up. Happy to see it has sick art. Really cool. That's like an old school vibe to me, the way that looks, and I think intentionally so,
Yeah.
because Zombicat, they're like old school, like crazy, gnarly style. There's a lot of style on a lot of these cards. I'm really into it.
Yeah, that looks like a card from Ice Age. The art.
Yeah, it really does. Like just, I'm the art styles. They were going off in the set. Head over heels,
Yeah.
head over tires. I think that's all the black cards I'm curious about talking about. We
Really?
talked about Speed Demon in the past.
Yeah, we did talk about the Speed
Yeah.
Demon. We got a new destroy target creature or vehicle spin out for 1 and 2 black. Yeah, and then the last one I want to talk about,
Created Murder again.
just real quick, is the Wretch Doll. Just because of the art, look how sick that looks. It's a toy, another toy,
God.
and yeah, it looks freaking awesome.
Yeah, the art. I mean, oh my gosh, that is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like somebody ripped a emo doll's mouth open. Or something.
Yeah, and it's got like
It's
porcelain.
so crazy.
It's like got like porcelain arms and hands, like driving the car. It's so cool.
Yeah, I love it. I love a lot of what I'm seeing.
Okay, we're gonna take a break right here, and because this is going to be part 1, we're gonna break this up so we don't have a 4-hour long podcast. So this is part 1, And we're going to wrap it up here, and we will see you guys in part 2. So hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to like and shower. And we will see you guys with part 2 later.